Alright guys, welcome to Dad's Kitchen. It's been a while since we did anything. Been a lot going on. Today we're going to do boeuf bourguignon. It's a French dish. I'm going to American style it and make it a little bit cheaper for everybody to make. Um, it stands for beef Burgundy or beef from Burgundy. So we'll go from there. We've got white mushrooms. We got 3 pounds of stewed meat. We got bacon. We got onions, butter, beef stock, carrots, garlic, bay leaves, tomato paste, little basil oregano mix, a little salt and pepper mix, and a little bit of thyme. Typically, this is done in a Dutch oven, and it's cooked and allowed to marinate for long periods of time. A lot of people will use really good cuts of meat. They'll use like brisket, but I'm going to use stewed meat to help speed up the process a little bit, and we'll still get them great flavors. The other thing is that I am sober, so I don't use the red wine that Julia Childs recommends. So I'm going to get those same flavors by using soy sauce, Blackberry Jam, and a little bit of Balsamic Glaze. So we're going to mix those together. We're going to get that same rich flavor that you'd get from cooking with red wine, but without actually using the red wine. I also have kids in the house, so I don't want to have any of that, lying around. So we got our pots heating up. We're going to add a couple tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil into both of our stock pots. So the way it normally would go, the way Julia Child's recipe goes, is that you would brown the beef, or you would render the fat from the bacon. You would pull the bacon pieces out, then saute or sear your beef, and then pull your beef out, and then put your vegetables in and cook those, and then add your beef and stuff back to it. Well, to speed up the process, I'm going to use 2 pots, okay, and I'm going to do them separately and then combined, okay. I also don't have a Dutch oven, so I am going to do this in a slow cooker, which a lot of people have. Not everybody has a Dutch oven, and this is a recipe that I think, a lot of people will enjoy. If you like beef stew of any sort, this will be definitely something that will stand out to you. So we've got our pots heated up. We're going to check, see if the oil's running. Seems to be moving pretty quickly. We're going to add half of our bacon to one pot. Wasn't quite hot enough yet. It's okay. We're also going to skip the step of rendering the fat and then pulling the bacon out and then adding it back later to crisp it. We're going to do it all at one time. If you're anything like me, you don't have a lot of time to kill. So you want to get in, get it done, still get those great flavors, and still be able to maximize your time. Just got those bacon in there. Make sure we get it all nice and separated. Again, I'll have the recipe in the links in the bottom of this video. You just click on the details and it will tell you. Also, if you want me to continue making videos, please subscribe. Please, hit the like button. Let me know that you're out there. That's part of the reason why I haven't done one in a while, but I had a few requests. I started doing this to help my brothers learn how to cook. We don't live together. They're younger than me. I'm going to be 36. My other brothers are early 20s and early teens. So they live with my mom, and I don't get a chance to see them that often. But to help them cook, help them learn some recipes, maybe develop a future chef or something out of them, who knows. But is the way that I can help communicate with them. So I figured I would just share it with everybody, and you know, if you like it, you know, please hit that button. We got our bacon. It's starting to crisp up a little bit. So in the smaller pot, we are going to add our carrots. Now, a lot of the recipes call for you to chunk your carrots. Personally, I like the sticks. It just gives a little bit more volume to the dish at the end, and just like any of the other videos, I'll show you how to plate it up and make it look like it came from a 5-star restaurant when it's just something you did at home that can, you know, wow everybody. So, smaller pot, we're going to add our carrots. We're going to add our onions. We're going to mix that up and give that a little bit of time to cook. You want to make sure that that bacon grease and that bacon fat gets in there. Our bacon continues to crisp up. We get a nice flavor throughout it. Now this one back here, a bigger pot, is where we're going to add our beef. Make sure you continuously stir your cut beef. Julia Child calls them lardons. All that is quarter cut slices of beef or slices of bacon. So just, you know, make sure you're continuously stirring those up so they're not sticking to the bottom of the pan. I've got black Angus beef right here, stewed meat is what we're going to use. So we're going to take that, we're going to drop that into our bigger pot. We're going to season that with a little bit of our salt and pepper. We want to make sure we get a nice brown sear all the way around on all of our pieces of meat. Make sure we get it nice and stirred up. Get that nice brown sear on there. And I'll bring the camera over and let you guys see once I get it all browned up, mixed up, crisped up, ready to go. Alright, so we're going to let that go for a few minutes. They keep cooking. I'll be right back. Alright guys, so our beef is pretty browned. It's been on for about 5 minutes on medium high. We've got our vegetables that are pretty close to being done, so I'm going to bring you in here so you can take a look. Nice and brown meat. Vegetables are getting nice color onto them. Just this camera. Alright, so next what we're going to do is we're going to take our butter and add that into the beef. We're also going to add our vegetables to the beef as well. They can all be mixed together now. And we just sped up the process of taking stuff out and adding stuff and taking stuff out and adding stuff to help speed everything up. I got a family of 5, so when they're hungry, so we got to get it moving and get it ready to go. I'll mix it all up. I want that butter to melt throughout. Alright, we are now going to add our spices. We got about a teaspoon of, or half a teaspoon of dried basil and half a teaspoon of dried oregano. We're going to add that in there. we're going to add, most of the recipes call for a tablespoon of garlic. I love garlic, so I'm going to add 2 tablespoons. You could improvise a little bit on your seasonings. I'm going to add a teaspoon of thyme. We're going to mix that all up. Get that all mixed in there. Alright. Make sure we get it mixed up real well. Next, we are going to add 3 tablespoons of all-purpose flour. Now, all this is going to do is it's going to help build your roux over top of your vegetables, and it will help thicken your sauce as it cooks. So then we'll mix that all up. Yeah, it'll get kind of pasty, but that's okay because we're going to add more stuff to it that's going to iron that out. Now we want to cook it a little bit because we want to get that flour taste out of it. You don't want to taste flour in your food, so you want to let it cook for a second so it can kind of cook that flour flavor out. Okay, again, if you like what you see so far, please subscribe. Alright, so now we got a tablespoon of balsamic glaze. You know, again, a lot of places people will use balsamic vinegar. I like the sweetness of some good balsamic glaze, so I add that in there. I got 2 tablespoons of seedleds Blackberry Jam. We'll toss that in there. And then I got a tablespoon of soy sauce. Now that's going to give us our wine flavors. That's going to give us that little bit of fruitiness, but not too much. It's going to give us that little bit of sourness that you get, you know, when you're drinking a good wine. I believe Julia Childs calls for Chianti, or Chianti, however you want to do it. I'm used to them pronouncing it wrong in Silence of the Lambs. So once that starts to heat up and get going, we're going to add 2 tablespoons of tomato paste. Again, that's a preference. I think the most recipes call for a tablespoon, so I'm getting a little bit off from it, from the actual recipe. I'll bring you back in here so you can see what it's looking like. It's starting to thicken up a little bit. Get those flavors. You don't want to rush this. You want to cook it. You know, we're already rushing it enough, so you want to cook it. Make sure you get all those flavors mixed up so where they can cook together. All right. Add the rest of our salt and pepper that we got. And grab me a spoon. I'm going to taste this sauce. Make sure it's getting where we want it to be. That's good. Continue mixing it up, Let it cook. Now this typically goes over a starch, so we're gonna do ours over mashed potatoes. But you can do it over rice, you can do it over noodles. So it all comes out great. I got about 4 cups of beef stock here. We're going to add that to the pot, along with 3 bay leaves, we're going to allow that to just simmer there for a second and get all the right flavors. Alright. taste it again. Make sure that, you know, it's not too salty. It's not. Oh, that's good. That's some good stuff right there. All right, so now we're going to turn the heat off on this. We're going to grab our stock pot. We're going to add it to a slow cooker. We're then going to put it on low for about 3 hours, and we're going to let those juices really thicken up and separate our beef. It takes a little bit of time to do this, but if you start this like earlier in the day, you can put it all in there, not have to worry about it, and go about your day. Go clean the house, do the laundry, do whatever you need to do, and then come back, and by the time you're done, usually your dinner will be done. Alright guys, so we got our beef bourguignon in the slow cooker. So now we got a saute pan. We're going to get this warming up. We're going to add ourselves a tablespoon of butter. We're going to let that melt in the pan. Get going. As that melts, we're going to get our white mushrooms out. Make sure our burner isn't hot because I don't want to burn the bowl. Move our pan around so the butter melts evenly. You get the garlic out. We're going to do some garlic white mushrooms to add to our stew. So we got that going. Get our salt and pepper. I got mixed peppercorns, so that's what I like to use. Black pepper, ground coarse black pepper works fine too. I'm sure the major chefs like Gordon Ramsay or Alton Brown are fantastic people, but I'm sure they're like jumping through hoops right now going, this guy is completely butchering this, and that's okay. Like I said, I'm not cooking for them, I'm cooking for my family, so. And if they're not, and I'm completely jumping the gun, that's fine too. Like I said, I don't know the guys. I will say this, they are fantastic chefs. Alton Brown's my favorite. I don't think there's a recipe I've made by him that isn't like absolutely outstanding. So I got my mushrooms quartered. You could slice them, you could chop them up, you can do a duxelles if you want. I don't know why you would do that, but if that's your thing, you just like the mushroom flavor but not really the mushrooms themselves, I mean, I'm sure you could do that to add that flavor to it. Again, make sure they're seasoned well. We want to give that earthy flavor to our mushrooms. Again, if you like what you see, I'm going to keep saying this over and over and over again. Please hit like, subscribe, comment, you know, give me some feedback. You know, you either like cooking or you don't. You know, I enjoy doing it. It's something I've done for 20 years. I've cooked in every aspect of life as far as, you know, from fast food to fine dining. So, am I perfect? No, but that's the beautiful thing about, you know, being a chef is the fact that you can learn as you go. There's a lot of techniques out there that people take for granted. You know, the moment that a chef thinks that he knows everything there is to know about cooking is whenever he falls off. So he needs to have an open mind and look at as many recipes as he possibly can, because you might make it one way, I might make it different. We can combine the two and come up with something excellent. So, alright, we've got a nice little brown color on our mushrooms. Show you these. I've got this saute pan set up on medium high. If you had time, you could have roasted these. That works out fine too. You know, 350 in the oven. You know, parchment paper on a sheet tray. You know, throw it in there, cookie tray, whatever. Throw it in there. A little oil, salt, and pepper. Throw it right on there. You know, use a little garlic powder. Using the minced garlic or fresh garlic on that can tend to burn. So sauteing them up, though, you kind of have more control, in my opinion, over how long your garlic is cooking, because you really just want it to become fragrant to where you can really smell that garlic flavor. Once you get that, you're pretty good, because if you add too much, I'm gonna lower the heat down. If you had, you know, leave it on for too long, that garlic will burn and it'll completely ruin the entire set of mushrooms that you have. And again, you can adjust your garlic, you know, like taste one. Oh, that's good. But you can adjust your garlic, you know, if you're not a huge garlic fan, you can add a little bit, and you add none at all. Salt and pepper works just fine. You know, you can do Italian spices instead. You know, you can do balsamic mushrooms. You can do whatever you like. It's going to come out. It's going to blend well with the stew. Because like I said, you know, instead of the wine, I use balsamic anyway. So if you add it, it's just going to have a little bit more of a balsamic flavor in your stew. So now that these are done, we are going to go over and add them to the stew so they can continue to marinate in the sauce and get it, you know, thickened in with everything else. And then when it's time to plate, we'll get ready to do that for you and show you how to make it look like it came out of a restaurant. All right, we'll be right back. All right, ladies and gentlemen, everything's done. I'm going to show you how to plate everything and get everything ready to go for you. So first off, what we're going to do is we're going to get our mashed potatoes. You always got good mashed potatoes, and you can go like this and they don't fall off your spoon. We're going to place that on the one corner off center of the actual center of the plate. Kind of put a little bit of a divot, the gravy hole, that's what I like to call them. I like to keep it a little rustic, so we'll show you. This is the whole plate. And that's where I placed it. Okay. Next, what I made as a side was tomato and cucumber salad. So it's sliced tomatoes, red onions, green onions, cucumbers thinly sliced. It's got a little red wine vinegar, a little oil, salt, and pepper, and a dash of sugar. So I'm going to add that. I'll set that on the opposite side. And I want to kind of stand them up, you know, make them pop a little bit. You know, do a little bit of placement. I already got the family's plates made. So this one is mine. My portion, I like to be a little bit more than the rest. So now I'm going to go over to the slow cooker and I'm going to get the stew, and I'm going to place it on the plate and show you how to finish off the plate. So I'll be right back. Alright, so I got the stew on there. I'll show you what it looks like so far. Different opposite sides of the plate. So now what we're going to do is we're going to use what I like to call sushi scallions. It's just green onions that you've sliced really thin and placed into some cold water. I can do a tutorial, show you guys how to do that. Great garnished. And I believe in not garnishing anything unless it adds flavor to the dish. So we're going to place that on top and hold it up so you can see. Serve that up with a baguette or something and they'll enjoy it. I also want to bring you over here and show you the thickness of the stew. See how thick that's gotten? That's from the flour that we added. So if you like what you see, if you try the recipe and you like the way it tastes and you have some suggestions, you have some thoughts, you have a recipe that you're having trouble with and you want to learn how to do, feel free to like, comment, subscribe, and let me know, and we'll keep going, and I'll show you how to make it, and we'll move forward. You guys have a great day.